What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. This time I'm gonna go over from the easiest Divine Beast to the hardest from DLC 1 and 2. So, with that being said, I'll be going over all 8 of them, and yeah, this list is quite simple, compared to the compared to the Ancient Apostles, because these bosses are pretty straightforward, and yeah, let's go over it. Starting off, number 8, I got the Princess, or you can call it a plant. So the plant is actually the easiest out of all of them, because the plant uses less amount of accuracy and the best hitboxes out of all of them. This thing just so much better compared to the rest of the bosses, and she does drop a very good whip you can use early on. Well, I wouldn't say early on, maybe like a midway through, but yeah, if you can get that whip, you can pretty much do a lot of contents with that whip. So the princess doesn't have too much special moves or whatever, but if you're talking about in one down perspective, or multiple downs where you just walking in back and forth, and the princess really not gonna do too much. Number 7, I got the voice spear. The voice spear is actually a lot less tankier than the princess. However, what makes the voice spear a little bit harder is the accuracy requirement. It is actually a lot higher than the plant, and the hitboxes is garbage. Like I'm serious. Like that hitboxes there for some of the weapons to hit, like katanas and some of the like down skill, Nightmare Rain and whatever. It is horrible. Like you actually have to aim a specific spot if you want to use that, and a lot of time you're gonna clip through it, and it's very, very bad. So it's because of the high accuracy and terrible hitboxes. Compared to the plant was a lot easier. Plant just don't do much, but the voice spear, yeah, it's quite dangerous because you kind of need to know what to do, because it's like it has 2 different parts. Sometimes you can lock on the spear, sometimes you lock on the body, so it's a little bit glitchy too. That's the other part. Other than that, not too bad. Number 6, I got the King. The King is a very, very challenging boss, and it was very, very difficult actually when it first came out. And the King has the reason why it's so much more difficult than the previous 2 is because high HP, high special accuracy requirement for slow, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also the hitboxes can be weird because he does have multiple body parts, and it's not easy to kill him. So yeah, the King is definitely will give you a lot of challenge, and he does drop one of the best weapon, or one of the best spear and stuff, and the Forgotten Ring. Not Forgotten Ring, the Ring of Curses. That is a very good accessory you can use for a lot of different fights. He is definitely worth it to farm, but it's pretty tough. Number 5, I got the Tapir. But that being said, the Tapir, oh boy, that thing you have to kill it specific way, as usual. You gotta break the shell first before you do anything to the body. Down it, whatever, So yeah, it's very, very technical when it comes to fighting the Tapir. A lot of people struggling fighting the Tapir, because I've seen a lot of comments. A lot of people just asking, how do you kill this thing? How do you down it? I can't hit him or whatever. There's like a lot of questions, but the Tapir is also very glitchy as well. What makes it difficult is that a lot of people don't realize that you have to break his head, but if you don't put slow on his body, even if you break his head, you're not gonna have enough time to use Mind Break or Hazard it, because as soon as you miss, fail, or like whatever, to not be able to destroy the shell, it's gonna go down to like a new phase, and it will drop down. Like there's an animation, and then he has to teleport to like an orb. That's where after you can actually answer it. It's very annoying. So it takes a lot longer to fight than the rest of the divine beasts, because that one, if you fail certain steps, you're gonna have to wait, or just walk out, come back in. But still, Tapir is very, very tanky, a lot of HP compared to the king, because you have to destroy two different parts, and it uses a lot more time, and its defense is insane. Accuracy pretty high, special accuracy pretty high to slow it. So overall, Tapir is like definitely one of the difficult bosses in this game in general. Like I mentioned in the Ancient Apostle, Skull Reaper is probably one of the hardest bosses out there, but Tapir it's right there, so it's not that far from the Skull Reaper. Moving on, number 4, I got the Man Eater. The Man Eater is a fish type enemy. So the fish type enemy is always glitchy. Like the last 4 that I'm gonna mention isn't gonna be super bad. It's just because they're higher level and they have more HP and etc. But these divine beasts are not easy. It's easier, but I wouldn't say it's easy for most people. They are fairly tanky, and you do have to do the same thing as down it, kill it, and slow it as usual. And yeah, other than that, is just the hitboxes. Like I say, the fish type enemy hitboxes are just terrible for dual wield, like Nightmare Reigns or whatever, like the first in the very beginning, trying to down it, etc. Other than that, that thing isn't too bad because it has the least amount of HP, and you don't have to worry too much. Number 3, I got the Chimera. The Chimera is a fairly tanky boss. It's not too bad, but you gotta need enough DPS to kill it. Although the Chimera doesn't do too much, you can just mind break it right off the back as usual. Like pretty much most of the bosses, you can just do that and then do damage. The only reason why Chimera is higher than the rest of them is just its level, and it's more HP and stuff. Like the last 4, like I mentioned, and you can just tell by their levels. That's it. Not much special. They're just higher level, more HP. That's about it. And number 2, I got the Nightblade. The Centipede is a very challenging boss fight for a lot of people because it is a Skull Reaper type, where you have to destroy the heads and stuff, but you can actually mind break it right off the back if you don't get aggro. In many videos you can just see me use mind break right off the back, because Skull Reaper, nah, you ain't mind break it right off the back. So the Centipede can actually activate the Skull Reaper buff as well, so you gotta be careful. If you don't mind break it, your best bet is trying to break its head and then remove the buff, then down it. Other than that, that's pretty much it. It just has a lot of HP, higher accuracy, higher special accuracy requirement, just higher everything. Last but not least, the number 1 spot I have is Garuda. The bird, not the angel. Some people get confused. It's actually not an angel. Yeah, it looks like the angel from the Ancient Apostle. You can say it's a similar type, but it's 2 different things. So, but he does do the similar attacks as the angel, so you don't have to worry too much. If you know how to fight the Ancient Apostle version, then you can take that thing on fairly easy. And the only thing you need to worry about is just higher accuracy, HP, special accuracies. Other than that, this is definitely the best divine beast to farm if you cannot do level 999 Ancient Apostle, because that thing can drop you those very good gears, like those 1-star weapons, the 3-star weapons where the super high attacks and stats. So if you can pick up one of those gears, then you'd level up Ancient Apostle will be a lot easier. So that thing you don't have to worry too much, because you can just walk out and walk back in if you can kill it, like in one down and stuff. You can use like as many buffs as you want, just don't over buff yourself, and that's about it. And the best thing about the Divine Beast, you don't have to kill it in one try, you can kill it multiple tries. The Ancient Apostle, if you don't beat it the first time, like, or in like one down or two down, whatever, like, it's gonna get more difficult. So that's why the Ancient Apostle is a little bit difficult compared to the Divine Beast, because you can use much more buffs, and you can walk back and back and forth and doing the reset, and it's a lot easier because Ancient Apostle, you just gotta use whatever buffs you have to carry in there and just kill it. Other than that, the Garuda is a very fun boss to fight, besides giving some of the exclusive drop like the SP block light clothes. That's a very good armor to get. So other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright people, that's all 8 of them. That's DLC 1 and DLC 2 Divine Beast. They are quite difficult, like especially the first 4, because we haven't seen nothing like that at all. The reason why the second DLC, when it first released and then all these Divine Beasts came out, it was a lot easier because we kind of had experience how to deal for the first 4, and then the last 4 was much easier, because the only thing difference is like they just need more higher accuracy and whatever, but at that point we can upgrade our weapon so much further, and we got much better gears. It's just the first 4 is much more challenged, because back then we really didn't have much gears to take them on. You kind of have to like master at buffs, like it's just insane. And yeah, now the last 4 was just not as bad. I wouldn't say they're easy, they're just easier. I know there's still probably people will struggle for all of them, no matter if it's easier or harder. They're all difficult, so that's pretty normal, because it just takes some time to understand how to fight them, how to use your buffs properly, and then yeah, other than that, you're good to go. And that's pretty much the list I have. Some people might have different ones, but as usual, like I said, if I make a list, it's based on me. If you make a list, you can base on you, so it's a little bit different. I don't mind differences in opinions and stuff. It's normal. So other than that, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.